Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Now I've just put some base on, and I've put a little bit of, I made my own coral blush by mixing a bit of Beauty Light Wand with my Tom Ford True Coral, because pigment is pigment. So I thought, yep, I'm liking this already, and I thought, why not film the look that I did the other day on my eyes and my lips, which was all coral, and show you what I did. So basically the palette that I used was the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions palette. Now these are really good value. Some of them are a bit hit and miss. Some of them can be a bit drying and a bit kind of quite a bit of fallout, but it's great to get. They're quite good value. It's great if you've got a color scheme in mind like coral and you want to get a set of coral colors, or you want blues, or you want greens, because they just come in these little sets and they're quite affordable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some eyeshadow stick underneath to help it, because yesterday or the day before when I applied this and my eyes were watery, which they are today, it just started coming off because the formula's quite dry. So today I'm going to apply something underneath to help it to stick. So I'm going to find something and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to apply this, which is my e.l.f. No Budge shadow stick in rose gold, which I keep with all my Pillow Talk, Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk stuff, to use as a base under that. But it should work with this. I must have a look and see if they've got a coral one, because I'm in such a coral mood at the moment. I go through moods of certain colours and I have to kind of get them. And I went through a phase a few weeks ago of getting loads of cobalt when Charlotte brought out her blue palette. And at the moment it is just coral, everything. But luckily I've been through moods like this before, so I've got quite a bit of coral makeup. But I am going to show you that new lip liner that arrived this morning. So that's just going to help my eyeshadow stick, really. It's not really for the colour. As you can see, my eyes are really watery here. And I put on, the concealer I put on today was Tarte Shape Tape, which applied beautifully with the blender, but it is not that waterproof. Okay, so next up I am going to apply this shadow, and all I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to take this gorgeous shade. You can see it's the one I've used the most. I love this. It's perfect, kind of orangey goldy loveliness, and I'm going to put this on my mobile lid with my fingers. And when you've put the eyeshadow pencil underneath, it just intensifies the colour and it helps it to stick. So it doesn't really matter too much what shade of eyeshadow stick, unless you really want to intensify the colour, and then obviously you look for a gold or a coral or whatever. But it's more about, I just like using the eyeshadow sticks as an eye primer, because they really seem to work when you have hooded lids, because they just give you something sticky for the shadow to attach to, especially if you're working with quite a dry formula. It's just like having glue, really. So you don't really need to get something necessarily that says eye primer or eyeshadow glue or anything else. You can use what you have. Some people also use eyeliners, and they smudge that over their lid. And again, because of the waxy formula of an eyeliner, if you use one of the eye pencils like a Rock and Coal and you blend it across your lid before it dries down, that again will work as something that will stick your eyeshadow onto. And I tend to do this also, as you know, with Pat McGrath, because I find that hers don't last that long on me either. So it just really helps to get the eyeshadows to pop. I just can't get enough of this shade. It is quite similar to the Pat McGrath one, actually, in the Rose palette #1. I haven't succumbed to Rose 2 yet. I'm waiting for all the madness to die down. I've seen there's been a lot of problems with people trying to get it when it first comes out, and I just can't be bothered to get involved in all that. So maybe if I wanted to be first out with a first impression, but I think there's a lot of bigger YouTubers that will do that for me, so I'll leave that to them. So then I'm going to take a blending brush. I'll just get that and I'll be right back. So with the blending brush, I'm just going to use this because it's a perfect transition shade to just pop into the socket. And that's the other good thing about these little palettes of Huda's, is that they've got a nice mixture of mattes and shimmers. And then I'm going to use this red here. And I'm just going to put that again into the socket and on the outside corner and blend up. Okay, and then I like this orange as well, this sort of terracotta-y orange. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in the socket a bit higher up. Now the only downside with this palette is it doesn't have a suitable highlighter shade, so I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm going to take my smudge brush and I'm going to take along the bottom, I'm going to take this shade here first, which is this very dark kind of terracotta, quite like the terracotta brown that is in Charlotte's new matte palettes, Desert Haze, actually, quite similar. And my eyes are quite watery underneath, so it's going to apply like a wet shadow. And then I'm going to take this one here, this other shimmery one, and I'm going to put that into the inner part. Now this might seem a bit counterintuitive to put a matte over a shimmer on my mobile lid, but I'm going to put this right in the center to make the center of the eyes pop a little bit more. But because it's matte, you could leave it like this. But I want the light to still reflect, but I just wanted to get a bit more yellow in the center. This is what I did the other day. So I popped some of this yellow. It's bright yellow, look at that. But it's matte. So I put that on first. Like so, and then I went back over with this one that I applied first and put it over the top to get the shimmer back. Okay, so I'm going to use some black eyeliner. I'm going to try the one that I got in that beauty set yesterday from Marks and Spencer's and sharpen it really well because it was quite a vibrant black and it was quite soft. So I'm not going to have to push or press too hard on my already streaming eyelids. Pollen count's really high at the moment. Okay, so here is the Pixi black eyeliner. Now, the only thing is that it does smudge a bit when my eyes are watering, but it's just so soft and well pigmented. It's almost like putting a liquid on. Right, I'm just going to get an eyeliner brush because I want to just blend that line and smudge it a little bit, which I could do with my smudge brush, but I want a smaller brush than that. Okay, now the other day I actually used the dark brown in this palette to set my liner, which I may do if this looks like it's going to go everywhere. It's a disadvantage of having a soft liner is that it kind of feathers out a bit. Yeah, let's do that. Otherwise it's going to look like a mess. So I'm going to take the darkest shade here, which is this one again, and I'm going to put that over where I've put the liner because that will just set it in place. And the mixture of the terracotta brown and the black will just make it look like a very dark brown. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of that underneath because it always looks a bit weird on me if I don't take what I've got on top of my eyes underneath. I'm going to have to tidy this up in a minute because as you can see it's becoming a bit of a mess where my eyes are watering. That's because a notification just popped up on my camera screen and made me miss the target. I'll just clean that up and I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm just going to go over the bottom part as well with this brown. Okay, I found my faux whites pencils, which are getting on a bit. So that's fine because I just made sure that I sharpened it really well before I used it again. And this is faux white in shade Lavender Blush. So it's got a hint of kind of purpley pink. And I'm going to put that in my waterline. These are great and they really last a long time in the waterline. So I definitely recommend them. They're by NYX. And if you want to look, all the details will be below. I've got about 4 shades. One with a hint of blue, one with a hint of pink, one with a hint of purple, and I think one with a hint of green. Okay, and then I'll put on some mascara and do my brows, and I'll be right back. Okay, so then the sun shone in my eyes, and I didn't realise that I was recording when I wasn't supposed to be recording, and not recording when I was supposed to be recording. So I basically put on some blush then, but I didn't capture any of this. So I put on Huda Bronze Sands, and I put on, not blush, sorry, but highlighter. So I used the highlighter on my cheeks from the Bronze Sand palette. I'll show you that before I move on. So I used the cream primer from the Bronze Sand palette, and then I used the highlighter and I put it on the tops of my cheek, but I also used it to highlight under my brows and in the inner corner of my eyes. And I also used Charlotte's contour wand in medium to dark to contour my face a bit. But all of that was off camera, and all of me going to get the stuff was on camera. So I just did it all in reverse and didn't catch up until it came to put my after I'd put my lip liner on. So apologies for that, but all the details will be below in the description bar. So I used 1 and 2 here. So 1 is a cream and 2 is the powder to highlight my cheekbones and also the inner corner of my eyes and below the brow bone. And I did the other day use the blush as well, but today I actually used the Beauty Light wand mixed with a bit of my True Coral lipstick, and I preferred that look. Then, as I said, I used Charlotte's contour wand in medium to dark to sculpt all the usual areas: nose, head, cheekbones and under my chin. Now here's the new lip liner I bought from Lancôme, which is 114 Tangerine, and it's a lot brighter, nice coral lipstick. It's a proper lip liner, so it's quite waxy, really good for lining the lips and stopping feathering, but it doesn't apply very evenly when you fill in your lips, so I didn't do that. And it's got a great brush at the end, by the way. It would help if I press play when I'm recording, wouldn't it? I've just filled in my lips with Tangerine. Not filled them in, just lined my lips with Tangerine. And now I'm just filling them in with Tom Ford True Coral. Now I'm going to blot that, and I'm going to put a shimmery lip gloss over the top like I did the other day. Now the other day I actually used a Pat McGrath Opalust lipstick, but you know what, I thought I fancy trying this, which is the Autograph lip gloss that I showed you yesterday, because I think this will go really well with it and give it a lovely shimmer. So I hope you've enjoyed this, my coral look for today, and I'm going to go and put my coral headband on, and then I will be all ready for the day. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all very soon. I'm doing the swatch comparisons, I promise. It's just I've got a lot of... Yeah? Sorry about that. I got a call from the sick bed. So I've just been upstairs to see Mick. So I was just finishing off by saying I hope you've enjoyed this look. And I'm sorry that I haven't got round to doing the swatch comparisons. There's just so many browns in Charlotte's palettes to look through and compare that it's just taken me a bit longer than I guessed it would. So I will be doing that as soon as I can. and take care, everyone. And I will, if I don't see you before, I'm sure I will, but if I don't, I will see you at 1 o'clock on Wednesday for my live. Take care. Hope you've enjoyed today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye. Mwah.